This surveillance video shows a fight happening between several people in the parking lot of a Southwest Atlanta gas station.
It's hard when you know somebody really is trying to get out of this environment that they grew up in.
I'm hurt. I'm confused. I don't know anything.
I just want all the young men I work with to know that we love them and we'll do anything to save them.
Raquavious Ferguson, known affectionately as Rock, was an 18-year-old recent high school graduate from Atlanta with big dreams for the future. He was passionate about sports, particularly football, and had an interest in pursuing a career in engineering. His family remembers him as respectful and determined, a young man focused on turning his life around despite the difficult environment surrounding him. On the afternoon of November 5th, 2024, Rock left his home on Neal Street with plans to play a casual game of basketball with friends. As he headed toward the court located near the Atlanta University Center, he found himself in an area with growing tensions among a crowd. The Atlanta University Center is an academic district that includes campuses and historically Black institutions, including Morehouse College. Despite being in proximity to an academic setting, this part of Southwest Atlanta has seen its share of violence, often affecting the young men in the community. That day, a large fight broke out in front of an apartment complex near the intersection of Sells Avenue Southwest and Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard Southwest. Tensions quickly escalated, leading to an exchange of discharges. Raquavious Ferguson and a 14-year-old boy were both struck during the chaotic confrontation. Surveillance footage captured moments leading up to the incident, showing that multiple individuals in the crowd, including the 14-year-old, were armed.
An employee says this started as a fight. This surveillance video shows a fight happening between several people in the parking lot of a Southwest Atlanta gas station. An employee says then gunshots were fired and at least one person is seen running off. According to Atlanta police, 2 young people were struck by bullets, one of them killed.
Ferguson sustained critical injuries and was immediately rushed to the hospital, while the 14-year-old, though also injured, was reported to be alert and in stable condition upon hospitalization. In the aftermath, Atlanta police took one individual into custody. However, the connection between this person and the incident remains unclear, with no formal charges announced as of this video. In the days following Rock's passing, his mother, Raquavious Ferguson, spoke publicly for the first time. She described her disbelief and heartbreak, remembering how he had left their home that day simply to play basketball, never to return. Raquavious, a mother of 4, had a particularly close relationship with her son, who she called her heart. The family emphasized Ferguson's character and future ambitions, wanting the public to understand that he was not the person some might imagine based on the circumstances of his passing. His aunt, Sanchetta, echoed these sentiments, explaining that Rock was a young man with goals, one who was working hard to make a better life for himself. As the family grappled with their grief, they also faced challenges with the police investigation. Raquavious expressed frustration at being unable to see her son's body, with police citing concerns over contaminating evidence.
I had a great kid. He had a future. He said, Mama, I'll be back, going to play basketball. I said, okay.
Ferguson grieving the death of her 18-year-old son, Raquavious Ferguson, a recent grad of Booker T. Washington High School. While Raquavious talked, you could see her processing her son's death in real time.
He was a winner. He was smart. Like, that was my baby, and they took him from me. I don't know why. I don't even understand nothing. I need answers. That's all I'm asking for.
He was just there. It was just a whole bunch of kids in the area, and I heard it was a fight, and somebody shot, and he was one of the people that ended up shot. It's like when things like this happen, the blame game is happening versus just trying to get to the bottom of the situation so it can be fixed.
I'm hurt. I'm confused. I don't know anything.
Growing up in Southwest Atlanta, Ferguson faced the challenges of a neighborhood deeply affected by poverty and violence. To help navigate these difficulties, Rock joined a local mentorship program led by Keith Lewis, the founder of I Am a First. Since he was 12 years old, Rock had been mentored by Lewis, who dedicated himself to helping young men in the community find safer, more productive paths. Ferguson's close bond with his mentor was one of the anchors that kept him focused on his aspirations, especially as he neared graduation.
He was always about respect, man. Like, we deal with a lot of kids that are bad as like all world, man. But he wasn't like that. He literally was gentle, but he was not to play with. It's hard when you know somebody really is trying to get out of this environment that they grew up in, because he grew up right over here, and this is poverty at its lowest form.
Keith Lewis is the founder of I'm a Father First and says he mentored Ferguson for more than 5 years. Lewis says his son was friends with him, and they learned of his passing late Tuesday.
And he said, Rock gone. So that's how I found out. Sometimes I guess you can't save everybody.
This loss hasn't been easy.
He was just welcoming. He always said, love, Unc. Every time he left me, he'd just say, love, Unc. And I'd say, stay safe. Because I knew what he was battling over here.
For Lewis, despite losing Ferguson, his work to help those in the community continues.
I just want all the young men I work with to know that we love them and we'll do anything to save them. He tried hard. We was in our program. He was in several programs. He was trying hard to make it. Literally was just talking to him about the decisions he makes, the company he keeps, trying to just get him away. I wanted him to come with me and my son, you know. Sometimes I guess you can't save everybody.
His mentor, Jermaine Clark, says he was a good kid and didn't deserve to die this way.
When you gave him that look, he was like, I got you, Unc. You know what I'm saying? He was always respectable.
To honor Rock's memory, his family and community gathered on the evening of November 7th for a vigil on Neal Street Southwest where they lived. The vigil served as both a tribute and a communal grieving space. Friends, family members, and neighbors released blue and white balloons, Rock's favorite colors, into the sky as prayers were shared and memories exchanged. The gathering was somber but marked by an undercurrent of unity as those present resolved to keep Raquavious's memory alive and call for an end to the violence that had taken his life. The family also launched a GoFundMe campaign to cover funeral expenses, and the link can be found in the description below. As the investigation continues, surveillance footage offered some leads, but as of this video, no suspects have been formally charged. Police emphasize that the investigation is ongoing, and while they had an individual in custody, details surrounding their involvement remain unclear. Ferguson's story is a heartbreaking reminder of the dangers faced by young people striving for a better future in areas where violence can be an everyday threat. I will be following the outcome of this case. I do hope that progress is made and that the family can get justice. May the family and friends of Raquavious Ferguson find solace in the happy memories, and may his soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.